Good morning, my lovelies, and welcome to a absolutely beautiful Friday morning. It is glorious considering all the pants weather we've had over the last 48 hours and Storm Christoph paying us a visit. I cannot believe the difference. The sun is out. It's a little windy. It's nippy. It's not cold, it's nippy. And I got up this morning and Jack Frost had paid us a visit. It was really pretty this morning, but the sun's burnt most of it away now. So, this morning, me and Madam here, we are in the middle of a field up on Green Lane, having our morning constitutional. This week is rather a very splendid week. As of today and up until the 31st of January, I am on annual leave from work. Hip hip hooray. So the plan being, as we are quite restricted into where we can go because we are still on lockdown, I decided that I'm going to try and take Madam out every day to different places for you to see. So I'll try and take you out every day on a walk with me and Miss Lou to different places around my local area, and you can see where we like to go and play. So yes, happy days, no work for a week. Hurrah. So, as I've said, I'm in the middle of a field up on Green Lane, which is not too far from where I live. We're just having a little mosey on round. Be careful, there's a lady with a dog here. We'd just like to see how things pan out. This field last year, it wasn't planted like this one over here. It wasn't planted for any kind of crop, it was left. And last summer it was awash with poppies. It was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. The field was just covered in wild poppies that just sprung up. There's a lady here with several dogs, so I'm going to have to pull over somewhat. So I'm just going to have to bear with me while we pass this lady and her dogs. So we're going to pop over here so she can pass. Ooh. Morning! You're welcome, my lovely. Good girl. Come on then. No, this way. Sometimes I wonder why I do this with a very willful dog. Right, what was I saying? Oh, right, yes. Let's get her back on a path and then we will resume. So, as I was saying, last summer, this field was awash with wild poppies. It is usually planted out as crop, but the farmer had not done it, he'd left it. So come the summer months, these wild poppies have sprung up and the whole field was covered with it. And you could see it from the village over the back, how beautiful it was. It was just this red field. And it got me thinking, last March we went into our first lockdown, and that meant that unless you were some kind of essential worker, 99% of everybody stayed indoors. Nobody went out to work, the schools were closed, and the only time people ever ventured out was to do their shopping, or if they'd got a medical appointment, or to do an hour's worth of exercise. So what does that mean? That means there's nobody about. There's no people on the roads. There's no cars on the road. There's no people out and about. There's no emissions being pumped into the air. And that means wildlife had a chance to come back out to do their wildlifey things. In turn, that also meant that Mother Earth, Gaia, she got a chance to heal herself, because there was nobody out there pumping large amounts of crap into the atmosphere, polluting everything. And it was beautiful. I mean, I only have a very, very small back garden. It's, you know, it's not great, it's not a big garden, but I've tried to adapt it so that I cater for the wildlife that I get. Last year I was surprised and stunned at the amount of wildlife that was turning up in and around where I live that really shouldn't be there. I mean, we've got foxes. The foxes have came out. Over the last 4 months, I would say, we have managed to hear a tawny owl in the back of our tree, in the oak tree at the back of our garden. We get nuthatches in the garden. We get woodpeckers. I get a jay. You know, it's a council house on a housing estate, and this is the kind of wildlife I'm picking up. So that was telling me that if people retreated and didn't pump the atmosphere with poison and didn't dump their muck everywhere, Mother Earth has time to heal. You know, the rivers were running cleaner, the seas were running cleaner, the places like Birmingham and London, there was no smog involved because nobody was out. And yes, I understand that the wheels of industry need to keep turning because, you know, we need to make money to keep the country afloat. But it's also proved that things like working from home, less travelling, works. So why can't we carry on what we did last year? Why can't we cut down on emissions? Why can't we cut down on pollution? It just goes to show what happens when people are put into quarantine, or people are told that they can't go out, or people are put on a lockdown or a curfew. Wildlife has time to regenerate, to get better. Mother Earth has time to get better. And I think that's really good. I think, you know, that's what needs to happen. So now I've had my little environmental rants again, me and Miss Lou are going to love and leave you. And as always, look after yourselves and each other, and sending you much love and many, many blessings.